But to me, it's just a blowout. Ay, every week, we putting numbers on the board, we show out. Ay, all it took was just a bit of patience with the grind. You can never hold it back.
In this game already.
On Drive the Lane, fresh off a 27-point game in a big overtime win over Indiana. Freshman sensation, Malaki Branham. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. What's going on?
Malaki, this has been a long time coming. I feel like, Andrew, we say that with every guest, but it's true. You know, I always, if I'm at the game, I'll go in the locker room, congratulate everybody, you know, against a loss. After a loss, it's a little bit tougher. But, you know, After Indiana, I came in and said, hey, man, this is the week. This is the week we need you on. So we're happy you're here. We're going to talk all about, you know, everything from this season, about you, about Ohio State, everything. But first, Andrew talked about it. Let's talk about the IU game last night. Overtime win. You were incredible. You want to just walk us through the roller coaster of a game last night?
It was a lot of adversity, I would probably say. You know, ups and downs in the games. We was up by 10. They cut it down to tie the game and also be ahead. So I feel like we was resilient, as coach would say. So we pushed through and we got the dub, you know, thankfully. So
great answer. I mean, right off the bat, you're hitting us with great answers. That tells us right away this is going to be a good interview. As Joey said, we're going to do a little bang bang, talk briefly about last night, maybe look forward a little bit. But I'm curious for you because you've had two, you know, like out of this world games, the Nebraska game and then last night. Obviously, you've had other great games as well. But what for you last night was working that got you in your groove, got you to be, you know, seemed extra aggressive, especially down the stretch?
Yeah, it I felt like they want me to be aggressive. So, you know, I was just being aggressive and I was making shots. So I just, you know, kept being more aggressive and, you know, just get to my spots like I was last night. And also just making the right plays. So, yeah.
One thing that I know about Coach Holtman and Pito, who runs the offense, they go with the hot hand. Obviously, you know that. We even know that. So, you know, down the stretch, they ran the same play every single time down the court, and you were just making reads off it, which is awesome. Everyone saw that on the court. What I want to know is, you guys were down 2, 4, 5 in the last few minutes. What were the huddles like? What were Coach Holtman saying? What was Kyle saying? What was EJ saying? What was everybody saying during that?
Yeah, so really it was kind of the same talk that we had, you know, on the court and, you know, in the huddles with Coach Holtman. It was just like about getting stops, getting rebounds, finishing plays. And he felt like the offense was going to take care of itself, but we just needed to get stops to cut down the lead. And then he was able to get stops to tie the game up to go to overtime.
So not just for the sake of this podcast, but also because you guys got what seems like 1 million games in 10 days. You got to have a quick switch to the next game. Next up is Illinois. They're like the best of the best right now. What are your thoughts going into that game?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a huge game, especially it's going to be at Illinois. I know it's going to be rocking. You know, we both ranked in the top 25, so it's going to be a great game. I haven't played in there, but I heard it's a great atmosphere. So, you know, we just got to stick to the game plan and just be ready to play, you know, when the ball is tipped. So I feel like we're going to be good, though.
We have a couple things that are recurring themes on this show. And I'm going to ask you a question about that here before we get into the rest of the stuff. There's two things that we say going into every single game that if Ohio State does well, they're going to win. There's two things. I want to know if you know what the two things we always say are.
Is it defense? Is defense one of them?
That's too broad. A little bit more specific. It's an offense and a defense thing.
That's a defense thing. I don't know.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. What do you think the team struggles with the most?
Rebound.
Okay,
Rebound.
That's one. Yep.
Rebound.
And what's the other?
On the offensive end,
occasional struggle.
I'll give you a hint.
What is it? Yeah, give me a hint.
The hint is you're bringing the ball up with like a minute left in the game, and once you pass half court, you're initiating the offense. That's the hint.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's a bad hint.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Maybe we're going the wrong way, Joey.
No, I'll just tell you, it's rebounding, which I'm sure you guys put the bubble on the hoop every single day, and taking care of the rock.
Okay, turning the ball over. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
That's what I was saying. We want Malaki bringing the ball up because he's going to take care of it.
That's fine. That's fair enough. But in your eyes, you play against Illinois. Illinois is known for their awesome defense, and they got the biggest dude on the planet. Maybe besides Edie, actually, out there in Kofi too. For you, what do you think the keys to winning games are?
Really just I feel like getting stops. I feel like when we are locked in on defense, I feel like we one of the best teams on the defensive side of the ball. We just got to put our minds to it. And then on the offensive side, like you said, just taking care of the ball. We can't be wasting possessions, like Coach P say. So I feel like that's a big key, and just kind of executing on both sides of the ball. I feel like if we do that, we're gonna be in good position.
So moving back a little bit, because you've had an incredible season, we want to touch on all of it. It's pretty crazy as a freshman that you show up and within your first 10 to 12 games, you got Duke, Xavier, had Kentucky on the schedule, Florida, all these, big name teams, big name programs. What was it like for you to be matched up with all those big names early on in your college career?
I liked it. I love playing big schools, and kind of us having an underdog, being an underdog in the situation. I love that. I love competing. And I feel like the games that you said, we was competing. We won some of the games, but, we also lost against Xavier. But, just playing them games and being in the atmosphere, especially a Duke game, that was crazy. Just those atmospheres, like, I love them games like that. It kind of, like, make my game, like, go to another level, I think. So.
What's been your favorite environment so far?
I'll probably say, I guess a couple of them. Indiana was rocking. Purdue was rocking. And then I'll probably say the Duke game. Duke game was probably the loudest it's been in the shot.
The Duke game, I mean, like, that was Andrew's, like, second game in the shot, I think, ever, right, Andrew? And he was lucky because I've seen a lot of games. I've been in a lot of games, and there's never been a better atmosphere than there was that game. And it's seriously, like, people make fun of the shot all the time, and honestly, rightfully so, because you've seen the other arenas, like, they're meant for college basketball. And the shot just isn't. What do you think, like, when you come out and last night against Indiana, the it's not packed. Is there something that you guys are saying? Create your own energy or something.
And that's kind of what it is. We got to create our own energy, especially when it's like Monday night, not everybody going to the game. So that's what the leaders kind of said, and we created our own energy. But over time, they the fans was waking up a little bit and make some noise. So yeah.
Malaki, I got a social media question for you.
Okay. All right.
So I kind of do this thing, I do the majority of the drive the lane tweets. Each year for football and basketball, I kind of pick a favorite, even if I don't announce it. Like last year, 1 out of every 3 tweets was about Dwayne Washington.
Okay.
This year, 3 out of every 3 tweets are about you.
Okay.
But my question is, obviously after a big game like last night, there's a lot of great stuff being said about you. You're scrolling, you're looking. Do you check social media more after a good game or a worse game?
I'll probably say a worse game, just to see what they kind of saying. And I kind of like just make me want to work harder. But a good game is always a good time on social media. It's just, the bad games. I feel like I look at the bad games more.
Follow-up question. Do you search your name on Twitter after games?
No, not really. But, sometimes I do, like, just to see what they got to say. But I really don't. I got my uncle to deal with all that. He's kind of, he gets them going. So,
Andrew, the difference between me and Malaki is that he doesn't have to search his name to find stuff. He just hits refresh and it just pops up. For me, I was digging when I was in school just to see the one fan that was like, put in Joey. He would help. Yeah. That's the difference. Malaki, we going off social media, we throw out nicknames for guys left and right. I mean, we've got Justin Arns and Dangerous. The list goes on and on.
Okay.
We kind of have a nickname for you. And before Andrew gets into the nickname for you, I know that you have nicknames within the team.
Yeah.
Do you go by any of those nicknames? And I guess, honestly, if the fans don't even know, do you want to share some of those nicknames that some of the dudes call you?
They just call me Kai for the most part. I know some of the managers just call me Twos because, you know, I'm 22. So but that's it for or
so
Malaki.
Some of the other ones that I've heard, one of the other ones is Baby Goat.
Oh, yeah, by Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah, so me and Jimmy are from the same area. I've known Jimmy forever. I see Baby Goat. Is that something you're like, damn, Jimmy, that's a lot? Or is it like, okay, like that's kind of cool. I might
like, you know, like for him, like I kind of go with it. You know, he's a cool dude and I love Jimmy. So it's just, I'm like, you know, it's good, man. When he said that, I just be laughing and I just be like, what's up? So, you know, it's cool.
We got some good ones. Yeah. So Joey said Justin Arns and Dangerous.
Yeah.
Dwayne Washington was just the monument.
Okay. Yeah.
Jimmy Sotos has become Jimmy Godos.
Okay.
Caleb Wesson was the bully because Mark Turgeon said he was bullying their team the whole game. So we started calling him the bully. Last night, someone said we need a nickname for Malaki. And I know your last name is Branham, but I was kind of looking at it as like Bran him.
Yeah.
Malaki League him.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
that. All right. So at least we got him to like sympathetically laugh. Like that's good. You know, it could have been worse. But no, we're workshopping. That's right now what it is, and we'll get a better one for you by the end of the year. And we're open to input. Like if you're listening, anybody listening, let us know. If Malaki, if you come up with a nickname for yourself, but like you don't want to, you know, deem yourself and give yourself the nickname, like we will put it out there. That's what
okay. All right.
We'll do that for you. One thing I want to we talked about your teammates, right? Like we talked about their nicknames. Yeah. You've got some pretty good players on your team, and none better than EJ Liddell. You know, we think that he should be talked about more for Player of the Year, whether it's in the Big Ten or nationally. What do you see from him? Like, what was it like when you got to campus and were playing with him? Like, you saw him from afar for so long, but like, you know, EJ's the man. Like, what do you see as his teammate every single day? Yeah,
he works hard, man. Like, people really don't see him like putting in the work like the teammates do. And he just he work his butt off. Like he work every day. You know, he's a great leader. You know, when I'm down on myself sometimes, you know, he'd be like, hey man, we all miss shots. Like, you know, we all turn the ball over. Like, just move on, next play. So I feel like the leadership definitely helped me. And like you said, I feel like he should be talked about more, especially definitely Big Ten Player of the Year and Player of the Year candidate. So, but you know, sometimes that stuff is just kind of like politics and, you know, you gotta say we'll say it. Yeah. So I like, if I was him, I just wouldn't think about it. Like, I know he don't think about it, but I know like he gets tagged in some of the posts, you know, he looks at it, but I know he's just worrying about just winning games and, you know, making a run in the Big Ten tournament and also the tournament too. So.
Another teammate I want to touch on, Zed Key.
Yeah.
So we talked to him and he's a goofball. Been in the locker room with him, he's a goofball. Does he say or do anything like during the games that you have to like literally try not to laugh? Or is he pretty serious once it hits zeros on the clock and it's time to play?
He's pretty serious when it like when it's time to play, but like during the warm-ups, he'd be smiling and laughing. So it's definitely hard not to laugh and smile at him. He'd be doing goofy stuff, but you know, he's a character, man. I love him.
I mean, last night he hit us with the roof raise and the finger guns at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. Yeah.
It's never happened.
It's like a lunar eclipse. Do you have any celebrations? I don't like, you know, you're a pretty calm, cool, and collected guy. Is there anything that you would be like, okay, let me break out a little like threes to the head? Like maybe you'll shrug if you hit like 4 in a row.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. It just kind of depends on like what I'm doing. If I'm kind of, like you said, like 4 in a row, like threes or something like that, I might show a little celebration. But if not, I just get back on defense. I'm really not a celebration type guy like Zed, because he got all the celebrations.
So who do you kind of model your game after in the NBA?
Great question.
I thank you. Thanks, Andrew. I mean, like, I know Zed, I just got, like, we're comparing you to your teammates and giving you nicknames, like, you are calm, cool, and collected. There are guys that I think that you play like, and I'm sure there are guys that you've modeled your game after, but this is, I guess, two-part question. Who do you model your game after? Who's your favorite player?
I watch a lot of like Kobe highlights, MJ highlights, Devin Booker highlights. Like I kind of watch like them kind of players because they're the same kind of size as me and do the same thing. Like, they're shooting guards, shoot the mid range, also can shoot the 3 too. So see how they get to their spots. I kind of watch that. So I'll probably say them guys. I watch a lot, a lot of film of. And then who's my favorite player, you said?
Yeah.
So for the longest, it's been Kevin Durant, just the way he scores the ball. I feel like he's unguardable. As of right now, I got a couple like young guys in the league, like Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, like I said, John Morant. So just kind of players like that.
For whatever it's worth, and Andrew, you can chime in too. I think Devin Booker is spot on. I totally agree with Devin Booker. The way he hits threes and he shoots threes, but like his bread and butter is the mid range. And he's a great finisher and doesn't get enough credit for it also. So I agree with that, spot on. And then the other guy, and this is funny because you smile a lot more than him, but like Kawhi. Like I see a lot of Kawhi. You're long, you're athletic, you're good on defense, and you have a pull-up where if you get to your spot, like they're not going to block it. It's just a matter of are you going to miss it or not. And granted, Kawhi, he's not as fun as everybody else, but like I see some Kawhi too. Andrew, I don't know if you had anything different.
Well, the two that we said like a month ago, Joey, were I said, and this is not like an all-star, and this has nothing to do with like your I said, I think you kind of play like Taylor Horton Tucker, where you kind of just can score from anywhere, and like you're not necessarily a point guard, but like, hey, he can do whatever he wants. If he brings it up, it's fine. So, and then Joey, you kind of said Kyle Kuzma a little bit too. So those were the two like guys that we said, and of course, no offense to Kyle Kuzma and Taylor Horton.
No, it's all good.
No one's like I model my game off Kyle Kuzma. Just what we like similarities wise on the court.
Yeah. I got you.
We were listening to Holman's interview last night, and I don't know if you heard it or saw it, and obviously this because he talks to you about it every single day. But he said that he's never had a guy that's gotten to his spots better than you have. And granted, he had some guys. He had Keita Bates-Diop, he had Jay Sean Tate. He had Joey Lane, like he had some guys that could get to their spot.
Yeah.
I can't even get out that laughing. What is your mindset out there, right? Do you have spots? Do you have spots every game? Do you have spots that differ depend on how teams are guarding you?
Yeah. I was gonna say it just kind of varies. Like you said, like last night they was kind of like on my right hand a lot. So, I go left sometimes and just get to my spot. But I feel like I got spots all around the court. I feel like I can score like everywhere on the court for real. But I would say that the mid-range area, wherever that's at, I feel like I can knock it down at least 9 out of 10 times for real. So
I just came up with your nickname.
What's my nickname?
You ready?
Yeah.
The Leopard. Check out all those spots.
The Leopard. Okay. Check out all the spots. Okay.
That's pretty good. I mean, I just came up with it.
We'll workshop it. I like it. It's a good start.
Yeah. Now, okay, I got a question for you. So they announced that you're from Cleveland or Columbus, but St. V's is in Akron. So when someone asks you, like, Malachi, where are you from? What's your answer? Because I've heard a few different things for where you're from.
I am from Columbus, Ohio. I'm born and raised from Columbus, Ohio. I left Columbus when I was 14 years old to go to St. Vincent St. Mary, which is in Akron. And then I stayed there for my whole 4 years. And then I, came back, to go to Ohio State. So yeah, I'm born and raised from Columbus, Ohio.
And Columbus is on your locker, right?
Yes, it is. They had it in Akron. I was about to say they had it as Akron when I came there, but then I had to tell them to change it, so they did that.
See, so mine said Deerfield, Illinois, which Malaki, you have no idea where Deerfield, Illinois is. It's 20 minutes north of Chicago.
Okay.
And I had Deerfield, Illinois on there, and I was like, that's cool, like that's fun.
Yeah.
Because like that's my hometown. I went to Deerfield High School, like, but I always say I'm from Chicago because dudes like you, they don't know where Deerfield, Illinois is. They know where Chicago is, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was close. I mean, like you can see the city from me and Andrew are from the same area. Like you can see the city from where we live. And so one day I was in there and Eagle Man walked in and I said in front of the whole team, I said, "Hey Eagle, can I change my name to Joey Lane from Chicago, Illinois?" And he turned around and said, "Absolutely not," and walked away. And so to this day, whenever we have to announce anything, like, you know, I was always the guy that, you know, I don't know if you went to any of our open practices, but like if we were introducing the team, like I would sit there with the mic and be like, "That's Micah Potter, that's Kent Bates Diop," and say where they're from. And then I always say, "I'm Joey Lane, I'm from Chicago," and everyone would basically like shit on me for the next 30 minutes because of that.
Yeah.
So figured we'd clear the air for you and for me there, and just make sure everybody knows that when Big Matt on the mic says from Columbus, Ohio, Malaki Branham, he's not lying. Like there's no.
Yeah, the first game of the season, they said I was from Akron, and I told the coaches, I said, "Yeah, they got to change that." So they did that, and ever since then, it's been Columbus, Ohio. So
good, because that's confusing. Talk about Ohio State basketball Twitter. That is confusing for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I know the deal. Now everybody knows the deal. One other question, basketball related question I have for you before we get into more of the fun stuff. I know you stay off social media, but like, you know what's going on and in the locker room, people talk about everything. One thing that was talked about a ton with this team early on was EJ Liddell's a stud. He's a superstar. He's a first team All-American, but he needs help. And a lot of times on our show, or when we go on other people's show, we talk about how EJ is Batman and he needs a Robin, right? Mm-hmm. Is that something that you hear and you're like, you know, I want to be that Robin. I'm going to be that Robin. I take that like as disrespectful.
I don't take it as disrespectful. You know, I just kind of play. You know, whatever they need from me that night, I'm going to give it. You know, I just really want to win. If that's me scoring the ball like I did yesterday, then that's what I'm going to do. If it's not, if it's me rebounding and defending the best player on the team, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm all about wins. So you know, I really don't care about that Batman Robin stuff.
So we talked about St. V's for just a second. I have two St. V's questions. First one, are you tight with Romeo Travis?
Yeah, I talked to him. I talked to him a little bit. I'm not like really tight with him, but you know, I talked to him a little bit.
And the follow-up question is, are you tight with LeBron?
No, I'm not tight with him at all. I'm not tight with him at all. He came to two of my games in high school, you know, the Sierra Kane game, you know, at Nationwide. And then when I was a freshman, he came to St. B and, you know, sat in a little section with him and his family. So it was cool just saying that. But, you know, he shouted me out when I won Mr. Basketball. So, you know, it's a couple. And he shouted me out when I committed to Ohio State too. So, but I'm not tight with LeBron. No, I'm not.
So it's funny because number one, we say Romeo Travis because Romeo he's really close with Andrew, and he's been on our show and on another little thing that we do as well. So we know Rome, and that's our guy.
Yeah, for sure.
But we say LeBron because number one, Andrew's a huge LeBron fan. But number two, the biggest misconception in Ohio State basketball history is that Ohio State is around the program, or that LeBron is around the Ohio State program.
Yeah.
Everybody always asking, look, like I don't want you to say anything negative, so I'll say it all. But like he had a locker. He gives us all the gear in the world. We wear his logo on everything. Like, we're very grateful. But that dude hasn't set foot on our campus in 8 years at least. And it's all great. He loves tweeting about Ohio State football. He'll go to every single horseshoe game, you know, that he can go to. But that man, I have never seen him, and I've been around the program for now, it's like 8 years. I have not seen him for a millisecond. So do you have any comment on that? I don't want you to have one.
I feel the same way about St. V because people ask, does LeBron come there often? Or I'm like, No, he's a busy man. He's in the NBA. He got, games and all that. So yeah, I feel you. Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's funny because, like, Joey, how often do we go to our high schools? And he's infinitely busier than us. So there'd be no reason that someone like that would go to their high school a lot.
I mean, if I was LeBron level at all, I would go back to my high school a little bit more probably. But granted, not LeBron, but like I go back to Ohio State, which is the same thing for him basically. I go back to Ohio State every single chance I get to.
You don't have 82 games a year.
That's true. No, it's fair.
Yeah, like I said, like he a busy man. So I don't knock him. I don't knock him on not coming, but
I agree. But you'd think like in the summer, like maybe he'd come through and say what's up. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're not scoring, 30 a game against Nebraska and not in class and not in practice, what do you like to do?
I'll probably say just hang out with my family or like play video games. That's I'm a simple dude, so I'll probably just say
what games are we playing lately?
I'll probably say Fortnite, 2K. Those are the two games I really play.
No Call of Duty, just Fortnite.
Yeah, no Call of Duty. I haven't played Call of Duty since like Black Ops. It's not as good as Black Ops was.
Yeah, Fortnite's like the best game ever. I literally. But yeah, no, that's great. Who are some of the guys that you want to call out? Maybe it's 2K, maybe it's Fortnite that they think they're better than you, but you know that you're the best on the team.
I probably Michi think he better than me in Fortnite, but he not. I probably say it's a couple people that's actually good on Fortnite on the team.
I know EJ plays a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, EJ play a lot. Yeah, I'll be playing with him sometimes. Him, Justin, Gene plays sometimes. So we be getting on the game and like we be squadding it up. So, but Michi think he better than me in Fortnite, so I'm gonna call out Michi.
I think Gene's very defensive in the game. Probably doesn't attack a lot and more just like picks up people's, like rebounds, their loot when they drop it. He's kind of he be attacking. He be trying to kill people. So he's a little bit of both, but I say he's more of aggressive. He's aggressive, especially
You gotta ask Justin about some of the games that him and Dwayne used to play back in the day. Those were my freshmen. So like we were playing all the time. We were playing Fortnite. We used to bring it on the road. We played it during the NCAA tournament. Yeah. We got it on the big screen in the locker room. I don't know if you guys still play in the locker room.
Yeah. The game is right there, but nah, I haven't seen nobody play in a minute. So
we used to play Fortnite, but that was tough because that's only one person and like we would switch off like 6 guys, only play one game at a time, whatever. Yeah. But we would play 2-on-2 2K for hours after practice.
Hours just chilling, just chilling in the
yeah, and I swear I never won ever. I was so those dudes played all the time. The last thing I wanted to do after playing 6 hours of basketball was go home and play more basketball. So that's why I just played like Fortnite and FIFA and all that stuff. But yeah, I was behind the 8 ball.
Malachi, growing up in Columbus, who's your favorite Ohio State athlete of all time, football or basketball?
Ohio State athlete. Dang. You said of all time?
Of your life, not like Greg Oden, because I know you weren't alive for Greg Oden.
I like when I was younger, I really never watched like college like sports at all. But I don't know.
What about other guys you've met that have like come back and like the Russells of the world?
Yeah, I was about to say, D'Angelo Russell. I talked to him a little bit when he came back. Jimmy Jackson, Michael Redd. I talked to Michael Redd probably at least every week, not probably every 2 weeks. So I make sure I really keep in contact with him. So I'll probably say them guys.
Yeah, it brings up a good point. You're number 22. That number's retired. When I got to Ohio State, I wanted to be 11. That number's retired. I did not have the same opportunity to look into that as you did. But what was the process like to get 22? To have that as your jersey?
So I just, I told Coach Holman, I was like, is there any chance I can get 22? Because I know it was retired. And he was like, yeah. So we talked to Jim Jackson. And Jim Jackson was cool with it. He said, yeah, you can have a number. Like, some people when they number retired, they don't want nobody to read, which I understand, but it's kind of cool that he was just like, yeah, you can have it. Like, So it was cool. It really wasn't that like hard or long of a process to get the number, you know.
Were you nervous?
Nervous about getting a number?
No, like when you talked to him about it, were you nervous?
No, I wasn't nervous. You know, I just asked him, like, you know, I'm a big fan, you know. I watched highlights and you know, I want to represent the number. I want to represent the number very good. It's like, yeah, for sure. So
did you have to, I've heard stories like guys have to, you know, write letters or
yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to write a letter. It wasn't that long, just a couple words, just to you know, say I want the number and just saying thank you if I can have the number. So yeah, I had to write a letter.
Yeah, I didn't get a letter from Justice asking for my number, but that's neither here nor there. I make the same joke over and over again, and it's just never not funny. You know?
We do a little rapid fire?
Yeah, go ahead, kick it off.
All right. Favorite candy?
Sour Patch Kids. No, not Sour Patch Kids. What? I'm a fruit snack type of guy. Like I can eat like Gushers, fruit snacks, all of them. So I say that category.
Okay.
All right.
Best dancer on the team.
Best dancer. I'll probably say Gene. Gene is a good dancer. He's a good dancer.
Best freshman in the Big Ten?
Malaki Branham.
If you gotta pick one of these three for the rest of your life: Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok.
That's tough. I'll probably say Instagram. I'm on Instagram a lot, so I'll probably say Instagram.
All right, I'm out of questions.
You stole mine. Best freshman in the Big Ten. We'll let you go after this.
Okay.
You know, you're not dumb. We're not dumb. We know that there are a few guys that are up for freshman of the year. We know that you want to win and you don't care. You could play 0 minutes and you win the national championship. Like that's all you want. Like you just want to win.
Mm-hmm.
But what does it mean? You know, put your selfish hat on real quick. What does it mean to be considered one of the best guys, not only in the Big Ten, but in the country? And you know, what's your selling point for why you should be the freshman of the year?
Well, it feels good, you know, just to see all the work that's been, you know, that I've been putting in as, you know, giving back to me. And what was your second question again? I'm sorry.
Your argument for why you should be freshman of the year.
Well, I should be freshman of the year because I kind of started out slow, you know, in the start of the season. And then I felt like I just been consistent throughout the second half of the season. You know, if that's scoring points or getting rebounds or just doing whatever I need to do to make the team win. So I feel like just me being more consistent than I've been the first half of the season, the second half of the season I feel like is why I should be freshman of the year.
The best freshman on the best team should win the award, right?
Yeah,
there you go.
I think so.
Pretty
think so.
Pretty
Yeah.
easy. Andrew, you got anything else before we let him go?
No, but I think we should end it how we always end it.
All right. So Malaki, we know you've watched every single one of our episodes, or at least listened to them. In case you haven't, and just to remind the listeners at home, the way we end every episode is we like to turn the tables on our guests. Let you have the floor to ask us any questions that you've been dying to ask us. And we're all ears for any questions that you have. Could be about basketball, could be about life, could be about anything.
So for you, Joey Lane, right? So when did you start, like, you know, doing this podcast? Like, when did y'all start? This is both question for both of y'all. So
like 3 years ago, right, Andrew?
Yeah, this is so like 2 years and however many months. This is our third Ohio State basketball season of doing the show. And it was immediately after Joey graduated. Like,
it was the summer after I graduated. So yeah, it's 2022. Now we started summer 2019. So yeah, wow.
This
is our peak right here. I mean,
yeah, we're peaking.
Big Ten freshman of the year. Like, this is the peak.
Sure. So both of y'all play basketball, right? Or
one of us played a little bit more than the other, but
okay. Yeah.
I got a pickup game tonight that I'm playing in. So
okay, yeah, go crazy.
Yeah, you want to guess the stat line, Malaki?
You said, so I guess it's okay. Okay. I'm going 20 points. All right. I'm going 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Y'all foul out? Or no?
No.
Okay.
So I can have as many fouls as I want. But it's
saying
SEC refs, not Big Ten refs.
I'm saying 3 steals and 2 blocks. That's what I'm going with.
All right.
So
Andrew, have you ever had 2 blocks in a game?
Oh yeah. I've had 3.
Andrew plays a lot like Jared Sullinger.
Okay.
Yeah. So Andrew, we have a little bit of different basketball journeys. Obviously,
Yeah.
I went to Ohio State, and I say went versus play. You know, it's I played at Ohio State. I went to Ohio State. Call it whatever you want. Andrew, he decided to lead the student section in high school instead.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you came to Highland Park High School, you would have heard it from me. We'd be like, "You're not as good as LeBron," like stuff like that. You're not as good as Romeo.
All right. Well, those are kind of the only questions I have.
All right, fair enough. Well, Malachi, we appreciate you, man. This was a blast. Good luck the rest of the year. You'll see me again, maybe Andrew.
Yeah.
You'll see me again, but
You'll see my tweets.
You'll definitely see his tweets. But yeah, man, it's been a blast. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.